Good day. Here are the stories for the Manila Times for Friday, April 30, 2021. The Philippines must upgrade its information and communications technology infrastructure to promote financial inclusion and support economic recovery. Representatives from the UK FCDO ASEAN Economic Reform Program, National Telecommunications Commission, Globe Telecom Incorporated, and the Anti-Red Tape Authority underscored the need to build up the country's ICT infrastructure during the Manila Times Online Business Forum, Cut Through Countrywide Digital Solutions on Thursday. John Owens, the financial technology head for the UK FCDO ASEAN Economic Reform Program, said the Philippines lagged behind other countries in terms of ICT despite pioneering in ICT-based financial services. NTC Deputy Commissioner Edgardo Cabarrios cited inadequate physical and digital infrastructure as the reason for the Philippines lagging behind Vietnam in internet speed. Globe Director for Technology Strategy Gerhard Tan said the telecommunications firm will be spending 70 billion pesos to expand its footprint by building more cell sites and improving the fiber connectivity in home lines. ARTA Director General Jeremiah Belgica said several government agencies have come up with a joint circular that harmonized provisions on the building of telecommunications towers. The Manila Times Forum was conducted in partnership with Globe Telecom. Other partners are the British Chamber of Commerce of the Philippines, the French Chamber of Commerce and Industry in the Philippines, Finance Executives Institute of the Philippines, and the Management Association of the Philippines. The government task force leading the country's COVID-19 response will release a list of businesses that will be allowed to reopen in areas under Modified Enhanced Community Quarantine or MECQ. Palace spokesman Harry Roque Jr. made the announcement on Thursday after President Rodrigo Duterte decided to extend for another 2 weeks the MECQ in the National Capital Region or NCR+. The Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases was to meet on Thursday to discuss the economic revival in MECQ areas. Roque said they were looking at gradually reopening businesses to allow more people to return to their livelihood despite the strict quarantine measures. The percentage of people who tested positive for COVID-19 has dropped to 16.74% from a high of 25.22%, testing czar Vivencio Dizon said on Thursday. The National Capital Region, the epicenter of COVID-19 in the country, has a positivity rate of 17%. Dizon attributed the decline to the re-implementation of the Enhanced Community Quarantine and the Modified Enhanced Community Quarantine in Metro Manila and 4 neighboring provinces which comprise the NCR Plus bubble. With the help of local government units, or the LGUs, the positivity rate has been cut by almost 10%, Dizon said. The government aims to start vaccinating the general public in August when the country is expected to have received a substantial number of vaccines, according to Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr., chairman of the National Task Force Against COVID-19. Galvez, during a palace briefing on Wednesday night, said the government would start inoculating those belonging to the A4 or the frontline personnel in essential sectors and A5 priority group or the indigent population in June. In line with World Vaccination Week, celebrated yearly at the end of April, the Manila Times Coffee Break gathered a diverse panel of experts from the healthcare sector to discuss vaccine confidence in its webisode titled Vaccines Bring Us Closer. Made possible with the help of MSD in the Philippines as part of its Get Well at Mercury Drug Diabetes Care program, the discussion focuses on concerted efforts to build vaccine confidence. Big business groups will hold a virtual vaccine summit on April 30 to help the government fast-track its COVID-19 vaccination program. The International Chamber of Commerce Philippines, the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the International Chamber of Commerce organized the Vaccine Summit, Equitable Distribution and Safety to help ensure the effective administration of COVID-19 vaccines throughout the country. Ambassador Francis Chua, founding chairman of ICCP and chairman emeritus of the PCCI, said the summit will provide information on the status of the global distribution of the COVID-19 vaccines. The economy in the National Capital Region posted a 10.1% decline in 2020, driven mainly by various disruptions including the Taal volcano eruption, the African swine fever outbreak, and capped by the COVID-19 pandemic, the Philippine Statistics Authority reported on Thursday. In a press briefing, PSA officials said NCR's gross domestic product dropped by 10.1% to 5.6 trillion pesos last year. compared to 6.2 trillion pesos in 2019, which was a significant increase from 5.8 trillion pesos in 2018. This represents an economic loss of 627.745 billion pesos in 2020 and the third highest contraction among the 17 regions, said Pasiano Dizon, Regional Director of the PSA NCR. The United States and the Philippines have completed their 4-year Child Protection Compact partnership against the online exploitation of children. Signed in 2017 and concluded on April 11, the joint endeavor resulted in the arrest of 97 sex traffickers. In business, rising consumer prices amid the surge in COVID-19 infections prompted foreign portfolio investors to pull out more than $540 million in the Philippines in March, according to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Central bank data showed that net outflows of foreign portfolio investments, or hot money, so-called because of how easily these go in and out of the economy, surged to $540.97 million in the third month of the year, a significant uptick from February's $40.41 million net outflows. The latest figure, the highest net outflow since May's $1 billion, but lower than the year earlier's $961.08 million net outflows, resulted from $824.23 million in inflows and $1.36 billion in outflows. Topping sports, the proposed title fight between Filipino boxing great and Senator Manny Pacquiao and American World Boxing Organization welterweight champion Terence Crawford is now dead. This was according to Top Rank CEO Bob Arum, who manages Crawford. Arum, who also used to manage Pacquiao, said both camps have already agreed to the terms of the bout, but it will not push through as the funding from a group in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, the place where the fight was supposed to take place on June 5, never came through. Rigoberto Tiglao and Ruben Torres are today's front page columnists. Tiglao asks if the NCR Plus bubble should prioritize vaccinating either senior citizens or workers, while Torres asks what is there to celebrate on Labor Day. Today's editorial discusses the recent struggles of India with COVID-19. Read the full version on the paper's opinion section or listen to the Voice of the Times. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and keep up with the Times. With the Fort Villa Seran, this is Arik John Seco reporting. May you have a safe Friday ahead.